Hello everyone, MeanSpeed here with another Rising Hub video. So today's video is going to be about the community events which have recently been released. So these are pretty new to the game and there have only been two so far. These are weekly events that take place on a random day of each week for a few hours, and they have a theme or idea behind them with additional rewards and bonuses as well for playing them. Now, I was planning to make a video for the first event because, like I said, there have been two so far, and obviously I didn't do a video for that, but I was only available for the last half an hour or so of that event, and it was actually not very full. The event server wasn't very full at all, really, so I didn't bother in the end. And the first event, it was a commando knife only event, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't very popular because of a few reasons. So it was advertised pretty late in the Discord, so not many people really got to see it. It was pretty last minute, and it was actually on mostly during the World Cup final, I believe, so it makes sense the server was quite dead, and also not everyone likes playing Commando if you think about it. Plus, the first event didn't have the rewards that the second one has, which I'll go over later on in the video, so there wasn't much of an incentive to play, really. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the event could maybe come back in the future. So those people, well, a lot of people that missed it could try it out. But yeah, knifing only does sound quite interesting to me, and I was looking forward to it. But obviously, if there's not people in the server, then you can't really do much. Now, the second event, which I'm showing gameplay of throughout this video, was held last Friday and will actually return this Friday as well. So this is a plane only event called Flying Friday, and I think this is a really interesting idea, and it reminds me of a map that Easy wanted to create for the game back in the day, which was aiming for this type of gameplay with plane dogfights only and no infantry combat. That was honestly the first thing I thought of, really, and remembered when I saw this event was announced. So I'm personally not that great in planes. I don't play vehicle maps anywhere near as much as infantry anyway, but if I do take a plane when I'm on a vehicle map, it's normally only if there's no jeeps or anything else left for me to get somewhere fast. So I'm just taking it really for that reason. I'm not going to stay in it for very long or going to go up in the clouds and use it for ages. I just pretty much use them to get from point A to point B, if you know what I mean. So you'll see me do kind of like a kamikaze style for a bit, and something like taking the one plane out, then getting taken out myself by a different one. Though I did play a bit more carefully near the end of the event, I believe. And I said the first event didn't have any bonuses to it, but this one did. So this event had extra VP and XP boosts, which are even better than the current ones that we have normally. So if you were good with a plane, or just say you were getting a high score, then XP really added up. I think I got a score of 2,000 one round, and I checked the end, and with the boosts from the event, that went up to about 20,000 XP, which is pretty insane. And obviously, if you were playing for a lot of the event, for like the whole 3 hours or most of it, and you were doing consistently well with getting points, you could really make quite a few levels, especially if you weren't that high of a level to begin with. And I do think the extra boosts, VP and XP, because VP is still useful if you want to change your name or do barbershop stuff like that. They're a great idea to encourage people to play the event, and they just make the event feel more special and unique, I think. Also, if, let's say, the theme of an event doesn't interest people that much, the rewards and bonuses might. That might be enough for people to decide, yeah, I want to play this. So I'm glad these events are going to be happening once every week for 3 hours, and I think they keep the game fresh with a new theme and idea each time, unless obviously there's high demand for something to return, or if it can be done better a second time around, like with the Flying Friday event. And it's just something else to play and do while the other content updates are being worked on in the background alongside these as well, I feel. Also, in case you guys didn't know, these events involve the community even further, because you can actually suggest event ideas in the Discord server, so your event could be picked in the future, which is pretty nice. There's actually a suggestions area which you can do that. So it's not going to be a case of it's only what the developers want to do. They do take in suggestions from the community, and obviously if the idea is viable, because obviously I'm pretty sure there's some things people are going to suggest that won't be possible because of the engine or the circumstances or the server and client files, stuff like that. But I mean, if your idea is possible to be done, I'm pretty sure the developers will consider it, and you could get your idea in the game, which is pretty cool, just for an event. And yeah, I will just very quickly mention some of the problems with Flying Friday initially. So some people were going against the rules by capturing flags, which meant you'd spawn on the main island of Wicked Wake. Wicked Wake was the only map for this, by the way. It makes sense because it's one of the biggest maps, if not the biggest map, and probably one of the better maps for planes. And it makes sense because, you know, you spawn on the island with all the planes. So yeah, basically people were capping the flags so that you weren't able to spawn on like the base island, and you wouldn't be able to get planes, obviously defeating the purpose of the event. As well as that, there was only one server running the event, which was actually my server, so that meant only a max amount of 16 players throughout a 3-hour period, which isn't really much availability. But both of these problems will actually be fixed, or just not as bad though, because when the event does return this week, it'll have no flags, so no one can start doing that and interfering with it. People will always be spawning when they die on the main island to instantly get planes again. And it will be hosted across 2 servers instead, so obviously that's double the amount of people that can get in. And I think that's pretty cool and pretty good. So yeah, as I said, the second plane-only event will take place this Friday, which is the 3rd of August at 4 PM CET, and will last until 7 PM. Obviously, if you don't know the time zones for your area, you can just convert it online somewhere. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the events, and if you have any suggestions for them, you know, well, I mean, it's up to you. You could put them in the comments just because it's something for me to read, I guess. But yeah, Discord is the best place to try and get the developers to notice it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.